Sri Lanka's political and economic history from 2005 to 2025 reflects a nation navigating complex challenges, from civil war to economic crises. This analysis explores the key transitions in leadership, the parties and figures involved, and the outcomes of each administration's policies and strategies. Mahinda Rajapaksa rose to power during a critical period in Sri Lanka's history, as the nation sought an end to the decades-long civil war with the LTT. Elected in 2005, Rajapaksa's leadership was marked by a decisive military campaign that defeated the LTT in 2009, bringing peace to the nation. His administration's victory, achieved through strategic alliances and strong nationalist rhetoric, solidified his reputation as a wartime leader. However, Rajapaksa's post-war governance was marred by corruption, nepotism, and unsustainable economic decisions. High-profile infrastructure projects like the Hambantota port symbolized progress, but saddled Sri Lanka with massive foreign debt, particularly to China. Allegations of war crimes further tarnished his legacy, drawing criticism from the international community. Despite these challenges, Rajapaksa's popularity endured, with his administration's successes celebrated by many. In 2015, Maithripala Sirisena, a former ally of Rajapaksa, unexpectedly emerged as a reformist leader, pledging to tackle corruption and restore governance. However, his tenure was overshadowed by significant challenges. The 2019 Easter Sunday bombings, a devastating series of terrorist attacks, exposed security lapses and severely eroded public confidence in his leadership. Additionally, Sirisena faced pressure to address war crime allegations while balancing the need to protect political and military allies. Sirisena's inability to deliver on his promises of reform and the government's perceived failure to prevent the bombings paved the way for the return of the Rajapaksa family to power. Elected in 2019, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, a former military commander and brother of Mahinda Rajapaksa, promised stability and security. His leadership style, rooted in military discipline, resonated with a public yearning for order after the Easter bombings. However, Gotabaya's presidency revealed critical weaknesses in economic governance. Poor fiscal policies, compounded by the COVID-19 pandemic and existing debt burdens, led to an unprecedented economic crisis in 2022. The public's frustration with soaring inflation, fuel shortages, and mismanagement culminated in the Aragalaya movement, a grassroots uprising that forced Gotabaya to flee the country. His resignation marked the end of the Rajapaksa family's dominance over Sri Lankan politics. Amid the economic collapse, Ranil Wickremesinghe was appointed president by parliament to restore stability. With decades of political experience, Wickremesinghe worked to secure international financial aid, particularly from the IMF, India, and China, and initiated debt restructuring plans. While his leadership brought short-term economic relief, Wickremesinghe faced criticism for being unelected and disconnected from public sentiment. Despite his efforts, his tenure underscored the limitations of top-down governance in addressing the demands of a disillusioned populace. In 2025, Anura Kumara Dissanayake emerged as the face of change, leading the leftist NPP coalition to electoral victory. His platform of anti-corruption, social justice, and inclusive governance resonated with voters seeking a break from the status quo. Disanayake's leadership represents a new chapter for Sri Lanka, focusing on transparency, equity, and rebuilding trust in institutions. International partners, including India, China, and Western nations, have cautiously welcomed his progressive agenda, recognizing the potential for long-term reforms in governance and economic recovery. From Mahinda Rajapaksa's wartime leadership to Anura Kumara Disanayake's reformist vision, Sri Lanka's political trajectory has been defined by moments of triumph and crisis. Leaders rose to power in response to the nation's most pressing challenges, whether it was ending a civil war, addressing corruption, or managing an economic collapse. Grassroots movements like the Aragalaya underscored the power of public sentiment in shaping the nation's direction. While Sri Lanka continues to grapple with economic recovery and international pressures, its democracy remains resilient. The nation's ability to adapt to shifting political landscapes and the enduring spirit of its people highlight its potential for a brighter future.